Hey, what's up guys, it's me again and welcome back to my channel Mayta. What ifs. Today I am back with a new story. The name of the story is What If Naruto Was a Saint? And yeah guys, it is an unscripted story and my own idea. And before continuing this, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel, and follow me on my Apologia channel as well. And I promise that from the next month onwards, I am going to be regular as much as I can. I'm not gonna take many days off, and yeah, I have been lazy and there has been a lot of issues this month, but that won't happen from the next month onwards. So yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest because I have been neglecting you guys in a sense. I used to make a lot of neglected Naruto stories, but now I feel like I'm neglecting you guys, and for that I apologize. So yeah, I'm gonna make it up to you guys, I promise, in one way or another. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you do, you already know what to do. And without any further ado, let's begin with our today's story. Our story begins in Konoha Gakure no Sato on October 9th at nighttime, as we go towards the front lines where we see Hiruzen Sarutobi, a little bit wounded and panting heavily. Surrounding him were a few of the Anbus as he was holding on to a huge metal staff. Hokage-sama, I am no longer the Hokage, but I am worthy of fighting like one. But you're out of your breath. Ugh. It's just because I have been neglecting my training is all. Don't worry. This was a man who has survived not one, but two of the most brutal shinobi wars in the history of the elemental nations. And yet he was here in this condition in old age, fighting yet another war. Not against any other village or against an army, but against the Kyuubi no Yoko, the strongest Biju of the whole elemental nation. It happened in mere moments. Everything was at peace, and suddenly out of nowhere, a huge visage of the Biju loomed above them. And now, they were on the front lines, fighting a losing battle, as they were being thrown left and right by the Biju. Where is Minato? He should be here by now. And that is when shadow loomed over them again as they held their breaths. But this time it was their Kage, as they had a smile on their face. Minato-sama is here! As a huge toad jumped and leapt above them and appeared in front of the Biju. How about you pick some of one of your own size, Kyuubi? Let's dance. As the huge toad took out his katana and went into action, while Minato landed a bit far. Leaving some of the Anbus in charge, Hiruzen arrived there. What is going on, Minato? I thought you had everything under control. Everything was supposed to be under control until it wasn't. Some masked person, I don't know how he got inside, arrived and, well, he held my son hostage and demanded Kushina. What about Biwaku and the others? They died. They were killed by poisonous chakra wares. Oh, I'm so sorry, Hiruzen-sama. I did not know how to break this news to you. We'll go back for them later. Right now we have a battle of our own. Why have you brought an infant child here? And where is Kushina? I don't think she has survived, but he's going to be the new Jinchuriki. I'm gonna use the Reaper Tetsu. No! I'm not gonna allow you to do that. Use the other seal. The one that Jiraiya and Kushina presented. But I am not sure. Now is the time to find out. But if it doesn't work, then we all are going to die either way, said Hiruzen. Minato, thinking for a moment, hesitated. Come on, Minato, do it! And so, seeing that his superior was saying this to him, he agreed. He used the 10 pentagram seal and sealed the Kyuubi within Naruto. After a few moments, the seal glowed and it died down. It was a success. It worked. Oh my god, it worked! But that is when the child let out a cry. As if indicated by his emotions, it rained everywhere. But something about this rain was different. It was covered in thick chakra. It was not natural. And those who were wounded and even outright dead or close to dying, their wounds hissed with steam coming out of them, and they began to heal. Even Hiruzen could feel his old pains fading. What is going on? How is this happening? And the surprising thing was, those who have been confirmed that they were dead, civilians and shinobis alike, they stood there. As suddenly from the shadows emerged Bivako and the others, as well as Kushina, you're alive. But how? I don't know. As suddenly Kushina, seeing that her son was crying, dashed towards him and picked him up, calming him down. Hiruzen was the only one who noticed. Minato had still doubts while seeing this. As soon as Naruto calmed down, the rain stopped. Oh my god, did that? No, I don't think so, and for the moment I think we should keep it secret, even if it is. I guess you're right, Minato. As the masked person who was the one behind this watched this from afar, it is confirmed. Each and every one of them is alive. How is that possible? We are not sure. We have to retreat back now. For the time being, I will. I have to keep an eye on that child. There's something about that child. Maybe. No, who am I kidding? It can't. She's been dead too long. And so, the man left with Zetsu. On the other side, the council was at the same time scared, at the same time quite confused. Most of them should have been dead, and yet here they were seated, and perfectly fine and healthy even. What happened? How did this happen? It was confirmed that a lot of people had died. How is this possible that we survived? That I'm not sure of, Danzo. But what I can say is that it is a blessing, said Minato, that we all survived. We have to get to the bottom of this. The train was not natural. It had thick chakra in it. I was able to store a little bit of sample. And I would request our team to research on it, said Danzo as he presented the jar in which the water was kept. And so, the meeting came to an end. The only thing that they needed to worry about was the rebuilding and reconstruction process. And the timing already was agreed. As this chaos unfolded in Konoha, we go towards the Mount Miyamoku, where there was another chaos brewing. Gamabunta has returned, and he had a news to give to the elders, but the elders were already aware, and has even called out for Jiraiya. Jiraiya boy, what have you done? Kamamoto-sama is quite frantic. I haven't done anything, pa. Why would you think that I would have done something? Last time he was frantic, you blurted out the prophecy. Oh yeah, but I'm sure I didn't do anything. Jiraiya boy, let's see what the old man has to say. And once they arrived, Kamamaru, the oldest toad who was trained by the sage himself, was seated there. And he then said, "Gather everyone. Everyone is here, Gamamaru-sama. Please tell us what is going on." A blessing is going on. Land of Konoha is blessed with a saint, born from the blessings of Kami itself. What? Minato and Kushina's son. Their child is a saint. He can do miracles like bring the dead back to life with his tears. What? No, how? Are you sure he isn't drunk? Said Jiraiya, looking towards the toads, as Pa jumped and literally smacked him on the head. Ow, what the hell was that for? He's serious, Jiraiya boy. But how can that be? I mean, are you even hearing this? I know it may sound skeptical, even outright obnoxious and bogus, but it is the truth, Jiraiya. I want you to go and confirm this. Alright. Fine, I'll go. I'll go and confirm this. And so, Jiraiya made a trip back to Konoha, reverse summoning himself back and seeing the destruction. Dear God. There is a lot of signs of the QB attack. Hopefully everything is fine. He arrived at the Hokage office. There, Minato was seated. Thank God, kid, you're alive. I thought you might have done something bad. I was about to do something bad. Use the Reaper Death Seal. Well, I'm glad that you didn't. And the seal me and Kushina came up with was, in fact, quite helpful. It was an experimental seal, and I almost hesitated. I told you it was a perfect seal. You underestimate your sense's fine arts techniques. That I did. In a time of desperateness. Oh well. It's good to have you back, Sensei. Yeah, it's good to be back. Hey, Minato. I have a question. Did you have a son? How did you know? Oh, god damn it. Did a miracle happen? How did you know, Sensei? Is it related to Naruto? I think it is. As Minato slumped down on his Hokage seat. Oh no. What do you mean, oh no, kid? It's the most greatest blessing. Kami has blessed the whole land of Konoha and you. To have the saint, a literal saint, is born here. But I just want my son to have a happy and normal life. I think that's out of the window the moment he was born. I guess you're right. But I'm gonna tell this to Kushina. Oh, that? Simple. Let me handle that. And so, cut to a few hours later, we see Jiraiya seated with a swollen face, with ice packs. I told you, we shouldn't just blurt this out. No, I'm telling you right now, Minato, take your son of a bitch of a sensei and yourself out. You're sleeping on the couch, by the way. Our son is just born. He doesn't have to bear the responsibility of the whole goddamn world on his shoulders. But Kushina, it is the truth. You can't deny that. The rain that happened, that healed everyone, revived you even. It was done by Naruto. He is born from the healing tears of Kami itself. The blessing of Kami is upon him. He is still my son. He will be raised as such. While this went on, Minato forgot about one thing. The water samples taken by Danzo was already under investigation. Just came in, and the whole council was baffled. Healing properties? Yes. As Danzo tried to test it out, took a kunai and slashed a deep wound into his arm, and then dropped the water drops on top of his wound. It healed instantly. Dear God. So it is true. We need to find out how or what caused this phenomenon. Do you know what this implies? We can bring back the dead. We can all be immortals in a sense. Cheat death all we want. Now, Danzo, calm down. We're not here to disrupt the nature and life cycle itself. It happened because of a miracle, God knows why, but let's just leave it at that. Do you mean to say that we should not solve this mystery? What I mean to say is that maybe we should leave it as it is. What do you think, Minato? Oh, yeah, I totally agree with Hiruzen-sama. This sort of thing, it may be not normal, but it is not ever heard of before. So it's a unique phenomenon that we can't explain. And after the meeting came to an end, we see Hiruzen arrived inside his office. Alright, Minato, speak. Do you know something about this? No, I don't. Kid, you don't need to lie to me. Of course I do. Of course, you will be the first one to find out if you did. Yeah, I practically watched you grow up, kid. So obviously I would know. It was Naruto, wasn't it? How did you... I saw it that day. The moment Kushina made him quiet and calmed him, the rain stopped. What is he? He's a born saint. A what? A born saint. From the blessing of Kami. Being able to even revive the dead. Oh my god. Do you know what this means? Yes, I know. If his powers fall into the hands of anyone who has no right means, then there would be chaos. And if the whole world find out, they would want a piece of him. No, I would not allow that to happen. He's my son and he has every right to live a normal life. I know, Minato. And I suggest you one thing. Leave Konoha. Go somewhere far and hide. Live a normal life there. Where can I go? There is a village, Sunlight Village, that is near at the water. where almost Eva is connected. What? Why there? It is said that even Eva Shinobi doesn't bother with that village. You can go there and stay there, hidden. It's a risky move, but I guess I did. And so, that is what Minato did. In the form of a training trip, they left. And there soon was an incident of, well, accident in which Minato and his family died. As Konoha reported it, Hiruzen became the Kage again. The council was, although a little bit suspicious, but they realized that Minato too was injured, so it was bound to happen. It was the shinobi world. There was always someone out there who was better than you. But what they did not know was, in fact, Minato and Kushina were alive. The only person who were aware were Kakashi, Hiruzen himself, and Jiraiya, who had access to them. Now, living in the Sunburst village, Naruto began to grow up under his family. Minato even started a small farm, in which he would sell crops of corn as well as rice. Kushina was happy. The shinobi life was left behind, but you can't take a shinobi and Konomichi out of them. So they trained. Naruto followed them in footsteps. He too trained, but he was more of a peacemaker than rather a fighter. The characteristics of the saints were evident. And the biggest twist as well as confirmation came when he healed the plague in the village. Kids began to cough. Their throats began to close because of the tonsils. And they began to fall seriously sick, close to dying even. Naruto healed them by praying as well as by visiting them, using his healing chakra. He was a little bit exhausted and tired, but the village chief was happy. Look, village chief, I request you please do not. Your secret is safe with us. The Sunburst village has fallen into a lot of bad stuff, but this could have ended us and our next generation. You and your family, we will forever be grateful and indebted to. Your secret will be protected by us and our next generations. And so that is what happened. The family lived there, but the rumors began to spread around that there was a certain village at the border of Eva who hosted a saint. And Eva himself sent some, as disguised as hurt, genuinely hurt and poisoned people. Kuritsuchi led the crew, acting as the wounded ones. Had a few minor wounds and self-made injuries, and a little bit of poison. Naruto healed them, obviously, but that sent alarm bells because the boy resembled the fourth Hokage. Oniki himself arrived and met with Minato, and then made a proposition. I will let go you and your family. Bygones be bygones. Keep you and your identity secret. The only thing I want in return is your son revives the people that you killed. Minato wanted to disagree, but seeing that they were outnumbered, Naruto agreed to this. You don't have to do this, son. I have to, in order to protect you too. And so, Naruto went and prayed as a huge bright light in the middle of the night shone like a sun, as the whole graveyard itself began to rise. People who had perished since the establishment of the village was revived again. Even Oniki's father and mother, who literally smacked the old man on the back of his head. You damn brat! Why are you threatening the kid and his family? But Kasama, you don't understand that. Leave them alone. I am sorry, dear boy. If my son ever bothers you again, I'll correct him. Now, Oniki was at the same time quite happy, downright pleased, but a little bit annoyed that his mother was beating the crap out of him while he was a Kage. And because of that incident, rumors spread more. So much so that it reached all across the elemental nations, even to the ears of the Akatsuki and Orochimaru. Orochimaru had only one wish, and one wish alone, and that was to revive his parents who had perished when he was only 6 before being taken as the student of the third Hokage. He had found their bodies and buried them where he resided. He kidnapped Naruto one night. Minato and Kushina were on a blood that day for Orochimaru. I want you to revive them. If you do, then I will let you go. They already have moved on. They won't be revived. What? But I thought you were a saint. I guess Kami spoke to me in a sense. I can't explain it, but I have a gut feeling. It is always true. Even if I use healing chakra, they won't return. Because they are saddened and disappointed in you. Of what you have become. Orochimaru gritted his teeth and was about to harm Naruto until Minato and Kushina arrived. They were about to kill him after beating the shit out of him. But Naruto stopped them. Leave him be. He already had gotten what he deserves for all the pain and misery he caused. And so the family of three, after assuring that Naruto really wanted this, left. Once they left, they returned back to Konoha because there was no point in hiding. And Konoha requested the same. Naruto revived the people, but after an extreme amount of rest and under healthcare, Tsunade was even called back for that. Minato had retired and wanted to protect Naruto by staying nearby him 24/7. So, Tsunade was permanently now the 5th Hokage. As even the dead Uchihas, the Senju clan, even Tsunade's parents, Don, Namaki, and even Rin Nohara, all were revived except Obito, who only had a gravestone. As Rin, surprisingly, within a few days was back to her normal age. The age that she was supposed to be. If he was found, then things would have been different, Kakashi. Yeah. It would have been. Obito Uchiha, the man missing in action, was watching this from afar, as the masked person unveiled himself to be Obito himself. As his lips quivered, and then a small smile formed. At least you're happy now. Even Yahiko was revived, and all those they have killed. And Konan and Nagato were happy as well. The only one who weren't were those of the remaining. And they were taken care of by Yahiko and his new formed Akatsuki, which Obito resided by now. Why? To pay for his crimes, in isolation and helping out others. What his true goals were supposed to be. In the meanwhile, the world celebrated Naruto, but his parents kept him grounded, making him human, normal, not some deity born from the blessings of Kami. All the while he, alone, was sent there, not because of Sage or his prophecy, but by Kami, to make sure there is no prophecy, there is no conflict, and there is peace. Finally breaking the cycle of hatred by intervention. As this is where I'm going to be leaving the story off, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel, and follow me on my Apollo Chia channel as well if you haven't done so already. As this is it for today. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.